So, Fadi, great to see you again today. Thank you for hosting us here in your new amazing offices.
Thank you.
It would be really nice if you could tell us a bit more of what you're doing here in Nazareth and the program that you're doing, and how you see the Calo Innovation Day and your participation at the TLD Startup Challenge.
Okay, so it's like this. This project, the Nazareth Business Incubator Center, was launched on February 2012. Our main mission here is somehow to reshape the Arab economy by encouraging technological entrepreneurship. I believe that one reason why the Arab community here in Israel, the most of it are living under the poverty line, is because all the industries we are working in and doing all the time is at the traditional segments. We don't have any startups, we don't have any technological companies and so on. So because of that, we are trying somehow to change that. This project is subsidized by the Authority for Economic Development at the Prime Minister's Office and the Ministry of Economy. And I think one of the most important activities that all the time, each year we are participating is the Innovation Day in Tel Aviv, and it's important because of two reasons. First, our entrepreneurs somehow can engage with the entrepreneurs in Tel Aviv, and this is very, very important to us. And the second is to expose them to angels and investors. The Arab community here, we have two main obstacles, let's say, lack of experience and lack of angels and investments at the seed and the pre-seed stages. And the Innovation Day is one event that can somehow help us overcome these two obstacles by having more networks and connections with startups in Tel Aviv, having their experiences and help and support. And from the other side, exposing our entrepreneurs to angels and VCs that can maybe invest in them in the future.
Perfect. And of course, I mean, latest news is that on the 27th of May, you're organizing a very big event for the startups in the Nazareth Accelerator that, of course, I have the pleasure of working with for a few months now. Can you tell me a bit more of Nazareth Accelerator, the sector focus, and this big event of the 27th?
Well, the Nazareth Accelerator comes to focus main two industries or segments: tourism and transportation technologies. This accelerator is subsidized by maybe the US Embassy, and all the time we have this question. Let's say it's like that. We have this conflict of being in Nazareth and the whole ecosystem, and the startup nation is working all the time in Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
And we are trying all the time to bring them here to Nazareth, and somehow we succeeded, but it wasn't a big success. So I thought maybe this time we will try to come to the startup nation and to make the pitches and the launch of the startups in Tel Aviv. Maybe by that we can bring more angels and VCs to see our entrepreneurs, and maybe that can make this effect, this social impact effect at the startup nation in Tel Aviv, that really there's something new, something maybe important for them, interesting for them, that is going on, happening in Nazareth. So because of that, we thought doing that in Tel Aviv, and the US Embassy was ready to host us. We will do it at the US Embassy building, or maybe it would be at the how do you call it, the ambassador residence. We are waiting for the confirmation, let's say, where it would be. But I think to do it in Tel Aviv, it can bring more startups from Tel Aviv, more VCs, more angels, to see our entrepreneurs, and by that we can make much more networks and expose them, let's say, to more to more angels and to more of what is going on in the startup nation there.
Yeah, I personally think, from the experience that we have working together, that transport in particular is a really, really interesting sector, really dying to be disrupted. And yeah, I perfectly agree that once investors or other people in the ecosystem will be in contact with the entrepreneurs coming from Nazareth, I mean, it will be maybe a first time or a second time they meet with them, and hopefully we can work on that. Last but not least, like, what do you think should improve here in the local system, and where do you think with let's say the startup city can help to collaborate more with other cities in the north, together with Haifa probably, to really move, let's say, from startup city to really have a startup nation?
Well, it's to have a ecosystem, sustainable ecosystem. There is a lot of elements that you have to have this ecosystem stable and working on. You have to have from one side VCs, angels, entrepreneurs, colleges and universities, banks, private sector, and so on. Here in Nazareth, and I don't know in Haifa, we lack, our main obstacle, let's say, is the angels. We don't have angels. So I don't know, it's one of our failure. What I can say that I didn't succeed to bring our businessmen to invest in startups. Mm-hmm. Because they don't know this area, they don't understand it, it's risky for them. They more love to invest in real estate, buildings, lands, and so on. So if we do it, to have this ecosystem working, I have to have some angels here. I'm trying now somehow to connect businessmen from Nazareth and groups of angels working in the startup nation, like AngelNet, Afterdocs, and so on, so they can learn from them how to work, how to to screen startups, how to decide about investments, and so on. If we succeed somehow to bring this to work, and we will have angels or angel groups working here in Nazareth, maybe we can say that we have an ecosystem that is really working. Now in Haifa, I think it's much more better because somehow they have a lot of incubators, a lot of accelerators, and there is the Technion and the accelerator of the Technion. So they have much more, let's say, activities and elements working already in their ecosystem. So it has to be much easier to make it the second, let's say, city in Israel. Nazareth, still we are really, I think we are still in the beginning. We have a lot of work still to do till we can say that Nazareth is really is part of the startup nation, or can be part of the startup nation here in Israel.
Yeah, I sincerely think that we're going to get there, and we hope really to see it soon. Thank you for your time and all the efforts that you put here in the Nazareth ecosystem.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you.